welcome back to the Wait, What's the Point podcast,
where nothing is the point and everything is a tangent. I'm your host, Cindy.
And I'm April.
Woohoo! Yay!
This Tuesday was a really monumental Tuesday. Do you know why?
Why?
There was Mardi Gras, which is the start of Lent. Ramadan, I think, also started on Tuesday. And most importantly, and then there was Valentine's Day over the weekend and Family Day for us. But on Tuesday, most importantly for us, was Chinese New Year.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy New Year.
Yes. Or as some people like to call it, Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year, yep.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Do you have any Chinese New Year traditions?
So for me, I don't know about your family, but for me, it actually started on Monday.
Oh,
so
really?
it's kind of like Christmas, right? Where like Christmas Eve is
Oh.
the big day. So like the Chinese New Year Eve is when the reunion dinner happens, and like the big meal is on like the night before.
Right.
But yeah, there's like a lot of food related traditions. But I think that varies depending on like where you are regionally in China and like what your family tends to do. But yeah.
What about for your family?
I think for my family, there's like a whole saying. Like,
say it. What's the saying?
I don't know it. I don't know all of it. All I know is that on the first day of Chinese New Year, it has to be dumplings.
Uh-huh.
I think the second year is supposed to be 盒子.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah. And then there's like a whole, like, it goes all the way up to like the 15th or something.
Oh, 15th is glutinous rice balls, right?
I have no idea.
I only looked it up because I wanted to eat it. I was like, when do I need to?
There's like so many traditions, I guess, surrounding the New Year. There's also, because I wanted to get a haircut.
Yeah.
And I was like, because there's like a thing about getting your haircut during Chinese New Year. There's like, I think I forgot what it was, but like there's this one day where you should not cut your hair because like your uncle will die. Or like there's like this whole, like another saying.
Oh my God.
So I was asking my mom, I was like, when should I cut my hair? There's like one day where it's like super good to cut your hair. I think it's called like long tai tou. Like the dragon's like raising its head, so like you should cut your hair that day.
Interesting.
I think it's like a month after Chinese New Year.
Oh my God.
It's like sometime after. So I need to figure out like which day that is and then get my hair cut on that
can you
day.
let me know too? I've been like trying to cut my hair because I have so many split ends and so
same.
overgrown.
Mm-hmm.
But I also heard the hair cutting thing. And so I was like, when should I cut my hair?
You know what's really interesting? So we and our friends had a Chinese New Year dinner yesterday. And then one of our friends brought pears.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom, like he cut the pears for us. Like it was delicious pears. But
They're really sweet and juicy.
Yeah. But
and very expensive, $5 per pair.
Oh my God, I can't I'm like so touched. But then when I gave it to my mom, she didn't eat any. And then after you guys all left, she was like, yeah, I can tell right away that he's not Chinese because he brought pears. Because pears, like li sounds like go away.
Yeah.
So she's like, you can't eat pears during Chinese New Year because it symbolizes like you're going to split with whoever ate the pears.
No! That means
So
our friend group is gonna split.
No, it's just like superstition. But like she I was like, oh my God, like I ate the pear. She's like, yeah, I knew you were gonna eat it, so I didn't eat it. And I was like, oh my God.
Well,
she was like, yeah, I could tell like no Chinese person would bring pears. And I was like,
damn.
well, he's not Chinese. So like no slight to him, obviously. But yeah, like even I didn't like think about it or like realize.
Yeah.
But there's just like so many things.
I think if I saw nice pears, I would have brought them. Like, I
yeah,
had no idea.
right.
But he's also going back to Vietnam, so maybe he's the one that's leaving and we're all splitting from him.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God.
It's a premonition.
It's crazy how fate works.
Yeah, right? So now we know. And all of you guys know too to not bring pears. Is it only during Chinese New Year?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like everybody now is in a very Chinese time of their lives. Like I've seen so many like I guess like memes, like different topics and stuff, but like ranging from everything. Like ranging from like food to like traditions to like cigarettes. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I've not seen the cigarette one.
I've just been getting like this whole range of like, oh, I'm in a very Chinese time of my life right now, and then like insert product or like insert tradition.
Interesting.
Or like insert song. Like there's been lots of like TikTok songs, I guess, or
Really?
like viral songs that are Chinese.
Like, is it like the Dongfang
Yeah.
Cai?
And also the Xue. There's just so many.
That was trending
now.
a few years ago.
Yeah. So I feel like I think the internet is in a very Chinese time of its life right now, and I can definitely tell.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think I first came across it, I think in the fall of last year.
Okay.
So like before it
like
blew up,
explicitly that line, like I'm in a very Chinese time of my life.
I think it started off as like Chinese girl autumn or Chinese boy
Oh.
autumn,
I didn't hear about this.
from what I remember. And I remember thinking like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, and then there was only a few creators that were talking about it. I remember messaging one of my friends because I was talking about like this concept, and he was like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, you don't know? Like everyone's in, it's like Chinese boy autumn. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
And we're like both Chinese. And now I feel like it's so prolific that like everyone is, it became a catchphrase and everyone on the internet is saying it. Like I know a lot of people are starting to drink hot water in the mornings or like eating congee. So I feel like when I first started, it was really innocuous. Like I felt like, oh, like this is kind of funny. And it was mostly, I think it started off with like Chinese people starting off the trend, or maybe foreigners living in China. Don't fact check me. I don't know if that's the case, but it felt like that. And I felt like people were appreciating Chinese culture. Now, present day, it feels like, especially with Chinese New Year just happened and it was the year of the fire horse. So I guess that makes...
I did see like a lot of posts explicitly calling that part out.
Yeah. So I feel like that specific year, like because it's so much like people were like shedding from 2025, everyone had a collectively poor or mediocre 2025. So everyone was excited for the new year. And so because it's the year of the fire horse, I feel like a lot of people hopped onto the trend as well. It was like the perfect storm for what happened. And yeah, so present day, it feels like everyone and their mom is like borrowing from Chinese culture, even though they have no idea what they're talking about. For example, I saw so many TikToks of white girls in their cars being like, you can't wash your hair during Chinese New Year. But like no one has explained why you can't do that. And the worst one, there's two, I think. One offender was like, this is what ChatGPT told me about how to celebrate Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. I don't know what they call it.
Okay.
And I feel like that is just so, like, such a lazy cop-out way to understand someone's culture.
Why?
Because, like, you actually cared about the traditions or the culture. I feel like there's other ways of getting information that's not, like, so fast and easy for you to make content about.
Okay, I see. So your issue with it is that they're only doing this to like farm content or like farm engagement, and it's not like a true, oh, I really want to know about this.
Yeah,
it's like, more like a, oh, it's a trend, like everyone's talking about it, so I have to make sure that I can say something on that topic as well. Like, is that what you're...
Yeah, like that's how I'm like kind of interpreting some of these, like this content, is that they've never said anything about China, like not once, except during Chinese New Year, all of a sudden, everyone's making content on it. They don't have a depth of knowledge in what they're talking about, yet they're still talking about it as if they're some sort of expert. Like,
would you feel comfortable making content about that?
No, because I don't know anything about Chinese New Year traditions, clearly.
Okay, I see. But like, okay, so I agree with what you're saying, but I also think that, isn't it nice for like non-Chinese people, or like people outside of the Chinese diaspora, or even like, honestly, I think like people who were born like outside of China, like born and raised outside of China, who like don't really have exposure to maybe like a ton of Chinese culture, like us. What? I mean, we don't know what to do for Chinese New Year either. But true. Isn't it like kind of nice also to see like a really big celebration in the culture, like being brought out to, I don't know, like the front and center of, I mean, maybe not front and center, but like,
I mean, it's pretty front and center at the moment.
Like brought out like to like the culture, like the pop culture, or the, you know, in general. Isn't that a good thing?
I have very complicated feelings about this topic because, okay, let me start with back in like 2007.
Oh my god, okay.
Right? I was so into K-pop.
Okay.
like my friend and I in elementary school, we were like obsessed with K-pop idols, and like that was back then where everything was available on YouTube. There's like no subs or really bad subs. Everything is like 360p, and you're really struggling out there, right? And we both lived at the time in a really white neighborhood, but like I didn't really care. So like for a lot of projects, for example, I think there was like a career fair thing, and they were like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Make a trifold poster board about it. And me, being the way that I am, decided to do one about being a Korean talk show host.
Oh my god, okay.
Because I knew that I wasn't going to make it as an idol.
Oh my god,
Like,
okay.
Can't sing, can't dance, don't have the looks.
At least you're grounded in reality.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, next best thing, to be still able to interact with my idols,
Okay.
I will become a talk show host so I can interview them.
Okay.
I actually auditioned.
Really? Wait, I didn't know this about you. You auditioned to be like a TV host?
No, I auditioned to be a K-pop idol.
Wait, when? Wait, why didn't you tell me this before?
It just
For which company?
It just never came up. It was for,
What do you mean? Never. We talk about K-pop all the time.
I know, but it just like never came up.
Wow, do I have to be asking you really specific questions in the
Yeah.
future now? Like, did you ever audition to be a K-pop idol, April? Did you ever audition to be a TV host?
Yeah, so back in, I think this was like 2005, maybe 2007, around the same time frame, SM was
that's
doing.
like young.
Yeah,
That's
I was
really young.
I was 10 years old.
Oh my god. And you were into K-pop at 10 years old.
Yeah, that's when I was
Oh,
most into K-pop,
shit.
I think.
Okay. At 10?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Isn't that kind of young?
Yeah.
2007, did we have internet back then?
Yeah, we had internet, but like the internet was like a wild, wild west.
2007 was grade 4 for me.
2007 was.
I was
that
not
means grade
on
6 for me.
I
right?
was not on the internet.
I think grade 7. Grade 7 was when I was really into K-pop.
Oh my god. Wow, you knew about K-pop before I knew about K-pop.
Yeah, I was an OG fan.
Wow.
One of my favorite songs is not 2005. Anyways, when SM was coming to Toronto, my friend and I decided to audition, but we were like so dumb about it. Like we didn't know anything. We had no talents. Actually, she's like pretty like musically inclined. But me, like I don't know how to read music, cannot count. Anyway, and then for some reason we
Oh my
both
God.
decided to sing the same audition song.
Okay, which was?
It wasn't even a K-pop song.
I mean, I think that's fine.
We decided to sing Eternal Snow.
I don't even know that song.
It's a song from an anime.
Oh, okay. So that kind of tracks.
Yeah, we admittedly got skipped. But we did get some postcards of Boa, if you know who that is.
Oh, yeah, I know her. She's like an OG.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
really popular back then. So anyways.
Wow. I have to like absorb this.
I know, I feel like we're revealing so much
Oh my
on this
God.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I knew everything about you.
Oh, there's plenty to dig through.
Oh my gosh.
So, in 2007,
Okay.
when I was making trifold K-pop career related things
Yeah,
and auditioning to become an idol, at that time I feel like I would identify with the term Koreaboo, even though I don't think that was invented at the time.
Okay.
Like I just like was so obsessed with Korean people.
Okay. Where is this conversation going?
To the point where I really wanted to become friends with Korean people.
Okay.
And there weren't really any Koreans at my school until I got to high school. And then I did become friends with a couple of them, but like the beginning of our friendship was like really cringe. I remember one time during, not recess, like lunch break
Okay.
in high school, we were like all eating lunch on the hill, and this guy was wearing Big Bang shoes. And then we like, not just me, but me and a couple of girls like chased this guy to try to look at his Big Bang shoes. And I was trying to learn Korean at the time.
Okay.
So I was like just very like interested in several aspects of the culture, like not history, not like really cultured, like
Just their music industry.
yeah, I feel like I kind of idolize Korean people.
Okay.
And I feel like nowadays weeaboos and Koreaboos are really prolific.
Okay.
like, I can't say every person that listens to K-pop is a Koreaboo, but there are definitely people out there and a whole subculture of people that I think they like are not necessarily appreciating the culture aspect of these different nations.
But I think that's asking for a lot, isn't it? Like just listening to the music or like liking the idols, which is like exactly what the industry wants you to do. Like they're producing these idols. It's like a factory assembly line, right? It's there's not really like it's not that deep. Like they're just like their intention is for you to like fall in love and idolize them. I don't think you necessarily have to like be interested in the culture to like the music or listen to the music.
You know Ollie London?
Okay, but like I think people like that is a little bit extreme. Like that's like the most extreme case.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
I
like
think
for like the normal
but
folks,
I don't think the normal folks are Koreaboos though. I think they're just like enjoyers
I
of
think
K-pop.
like normal Koreaboos, like if you like follow I don't know like a Korean reality show or you watch like K-drama, you listen to K-pop. Like I think
I wouldn't identify those people as Koreaboos.
oh really? Then what's a Koreaboo?
Like Ollie London.
Okay, so like the really extreme people. Only?
Yeah, or
what
like
about people who like vote in fan votes and like buy all the merch and
no, I think
trade
that's fine.
photo cards? You really?
Yeah, I think
I would label them as Koreaboos.
Oh,
if they're
interesting.
like into the whole like fandom culture of the band or like of the music or whatever it is, I think I would label that as Koreaboo because they're into it for more than just the art or like more than just the media. Like apart from the songs, they're also interested in the idols' personal lives. They're also interested in like the brand endorsements that they get. Like I would label that as a Koreaboo because it's a step farther than just listening to the music or like watching the show.
Yeah, interesting. I guess it's hard to separate like fan culture, even with weeaboos, right?
No, I agree.
It just because you're a fan, but I think weeaboos maybe is like a clearer concept. It has been around for a longer period of time. Where
true, like, and I think it's a different culture, right? Because like I guess the anime culture doesn't try to manufacture idols in the same way that like K-pop does.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's like
innately,
yeah,
exactly. Innately, there's like less parasocial activities to be doing. Like for
parasocial activities.
I mean, you know what I mean. Like you don't have an Instagram to stalk of your favorite anime character because they're like fictional, right?
But I do think they glorify Japan. Like they think Japan is the best country in the world, and like the issue with people like that is that they don't really like. They blindly idolize a country or a subset of people without understanding the nuances around being Japanese or Japanese culture. Like, for example, like the alcoholism, the working overtime, and like sleeping on the streets at like 3 a.m. because you're so drunk because you're forced to drink with your boss until the a.m. Like the political.
Oh, I was gonna say prostitution.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say like political, like whatever's happening in politics. Like I don't think they just look at Japan in such a one-dimensional view because they think like, oh, it's so technologically advanced, which is true in some cases and definitely not true in other cases.
Yeah, I don't think it's very true, to be honest.
Yeah, like I could list like 5 examples on why Japan is like stuck in the 90s.
I think what you're saying is like, it's fine to just consume the media, but you can't judge the whole country or like see the whole country in that like one facet, like from that one point of view.
Yeah, so I think people like Koreaboos or weeaboos, they only look at the country from like one or two aspects and they think it's the greatest country in the world without considering what Koreans go through on a day-to-day basis or what Japanese people's lives are actually like. And they just think that Japan is this amazing paradise and North America, like America is not like nowhere close to being the same. America has its own problems. Japan has its own problems, but
not every country has its own problems.
Yeah, it just seems like people like that just disregard these problems or like don't pay attention to it and they just like blindly glorifies or idolizes.
Do you think that that's happening to China with all of this like, oh, it's a very Chinese time in my life right now?
I think it's not exactly like that, but I'm scared it's going to get there.
So my take on that is that there's like generally two groups of people who like when you view China, there's like usually people are split into two different groups. One is okay, also I would say the difference between like Japan and Korea and China is that politically Japan and Korea are US allies or like Western allies. So the media and like, you know, the innate propaganda that you consume like from the day that you're born until every single day, you know, like all of it is like it adds up, right?
Totally.
So I think that's a major part of why people view Japan and Korea in such a positive light, and China not so much. But so like that's one group of people, right? Like one group who's like, you know, China is not a good country. Like there's so many atrocities there. Like there's so many issues there. And then there's another group, which I feel like is the up and coming group, which from the internet, like you said, I feel like that kind of glorification is happening, especially, and this is all anecdotal, right? Like I don't have, like I haven't conducted research studies into this, but anecdotally, it feels like people who are, I'm not going to say glorifying China, but really talking about the benefits or like the nice things about the country, which, you know, every country has, is getting kind of like blindsided or like one side vision with blinders on because they're not taking account all of the things that, you know, they don't agree with or aren't like objectively good that's going on. So I feel like there's two camps kind of. And I'm kind of worried that the second camp of the, oh, like we love like China boo. I don't know, is that a term?
I guess they will be soon, or
like that is also going in the same direction of what you just described for like Japan and Korea.
Yeah, like for example,
which is worrying, I think.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think that people that are like, oh, China is so technologically advanced is true. And they're able to build like an entire high-speed railway in 20 years or whatever the development timelines are, which is also true. And they're like, wow, that's so amazing. That could never happen in North America. But they don't think about the fact that the government just takes your property.
Yeah, they just do whatever they want to do. Like, there's a reason why they're so fast. It's because like, there's no, like, checking of power. Like, you just do it.
Yeah, which I think, like, is good for China and the greater good. But on an individual level, you really have little control. And I feel like being a Chinese person or a Chinese person living in China, there's things that you agree with and things that you don't agree with.
But you can't really say on, like, anything. Like, you have no say, basically. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of, okay, so this is also anecdotal, but a lot of people that I see that are, like, gassing China up are also the people who have issues with what's going on in the States right now. And I think part of their gassing of China is basically to be contrary to their government about what the U.S. government is doing. That's, you know, seemingly the opposite of what, like, China is doing, I guess, or what's offered in China. Like, yeah, I think it's definitely interesting, and I don't know if view of China is going to continue because I think obviously the government like has a lot of interest in like preventing that from happening, right? Because politically we're not allies.
Yeah. But I think
on the same level as like some other countries.
Yeah. But maybe in Canada it'll be different because I think our Prime Minister Carney and Chinese
Canada's tied to the US, so
yeah, that's true. But I think we're trying to break away a little bit, and like it seems like, for example, Canadians are able to go to China visa free for.
But I think that's more on China's part and not on Canada's part. China has opened up to a lot of countries in the past year because I think they realized that like they need to start promoting like their soft power more overseas and stuff. So they've been opening up to a lot of countries. I think it started first with Asian countries, and then now like it's being expanded.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I think it's such a nuanced topic because I can't really tell, like, to your two camps of people. There's also the incident of TikTok shutting down and everyone flocking over to Xiaohongshu, which I thought was really wholesome, actually. I thought it was like really interesting that people from the Western world went to this like Chinese social media site and they had these interactions and they learned about what China living is really like. And I think that maybe kicked off a lot of the China boo vibe that's been happening recently. But I think that interaction was really wholesome, where they learned this is what a Chinese apartment looks like. And I don't know what, you know, these Western folks were thinking like Chinese life was like. I don't know what propaganda
this happened.
Yeah, like they might be thinking of like China in the 90s, which was really poor, a lot of huts, like a lot of villages, things like that. But now, like they're like the convenience of living in China again has some faults because of who's providing this convenience and what is it costing, like the people or the environment.
there's a lot to get into there, but
Yeah.
we'll just skip over that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think they're learning about how convenient it is to live in China, and it is very convenient. Like you can order 2 cups of coffee directly to your door. You can order whatever from Taobao. You can order anything from Taobao. It's like Amazon on steroids.
Yeah.
And return it, and someone will come and pick up your package.
Oh
like,
my god, I miss it.
Yeah, and so like I think that aspect, like obviously not considering all of the other like means to why this is happening or how this was able to become
because manual labor is cheap because people don't value human labor. That's why.
But it is convenient if you are of the class
of
who
benefiting
can afford
from it.
Exactly. But I still think that it is wholesome that individuals are now able to learn about what China life is really like. I thought that interaction was really wholesome. But what I'm not okay with is like inching towards a set of folks that just view China the way that Koreaboos or Weeaboos viewed Korea and Japan. And especially those that, like, I think white creators on social media sites that reinvent or introduce Chinese food to a Western audience, but does not credit the fact that it is Chinese, is really devious. In my opinion. For example, I think there was like this creator called Courtney. She's like a food creator, and she made, you know, the Chinese cucumber salad, the smashed cucumber salad.
Yeah,
it's like so good and very easy to make, delicious. So she made it, and everyone, I don't think she is the one that's calling it this, but everyone else is calling it Courtney's cucumber salad. When it's obviously a Chinese dish that's been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And it's just the idea that these white creators, or I guess their followers, are not really, they don't care about where the food comes from or the culture around the food.
Or they're just like not aware. Because the food is being rebranded as like Courtney's cucumber salad and not like Chinese cucumber salad.
Yeah, and it's not to Courtney or whoever the creator is, right? It's just the way that things trend. Similar to how like Douyin makeup was rebranded as Korean makeup because Korean makeup was really popular. Like Douyin nails, Korean nail art. Anything good about China previously was rebranded as a different culture.
Yeah, I think I agree with your statement where like once it gets rebranded to something like new, I guess it doesn't really respect like where the origins came from. But I think I am okay with some levels of like innovation. And the reason why I'm thinking about this is because so when you go to China or like Shanghai, there's like a ton of viral bagel spots or like croissant spots. And it's like I've had this discussion with my parents so many times. I'm like, why is it that in Asia and like Korea as well, like I've seen them in Korean bakeries also, like they're so innovative and they're so inventive with things like bagels or croissants. Like if you go to a croissant store or like a bagel store here, like
Tim Hortons.
Okay, well even like if we go to like a actual bakery, right, you'll get like everything bagel or like sesame bagel or like blueberry bagel. I think is the most inventive bagel I've seen in like the Western world or like in North America. Yeah, like stuff like that. But whereas like in China or in Korea, because those are the only places that I've seen, or I guess Japan as well, I don't know, but you get like apple grape cream croissant or like bagels that are like like Earl Grey tea bagel, or even they'll even infuse like Chinese food. There's like mala bagel. Ooh. There's like all kinds of, you know, like inventions, I guess, or like reinventions of the bagel and like adding different flavors. Like same thing goes for bread. There's like red wine cheese bread. Like tons of different breads have been, I don't know, added to, enhanced to create a new flavor. So I feel like in that vein, it's not like everyone still knows it's a bagel, right? Like a bagel is a bagel, croissant is a croissant. But I do appreciate like extra level of innovation. So for example, like with the cucumber salad as an example, like okay, what if you add like smoked salmon or something? Like I wouldn't have an issue with that, because I feel like okay, you know, like cucumber salad, it's kind of plain. You can add elements that you want to add to, I don't know, like elevate the flavor or like change the flavor profile in some way. I think I am okay with that. But to your point, I don't think I'm okay with people just like renaming the whole thing. It's kind of like if bagels just got turned into like Chinese donut, like now that we added like a chili pepper to it or something.
I think it'll be the other way around. Like they're gonna rebrand bagels as Chinese donuts.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's also another controversy recently that I saw online regarding another white content creator. And they partnered with a Chinese American brand. I don't know how Chinese it is and I don't know how American it is, but they said that they created the first ever hot pot bomb.
Hot pot bomb? What is that?
Yeah, so they were like, we just partnered up to create the world's first hot pot bomb. Okay. The hot pot bomb in question is just the block soup base that you can get from any Asian grocery store.
Okay. That's it.
That's it. And they're charging, I didn't look it up, but I'm going to assume they're charging like 20 USD per block.
How is it a bomb? Like
they just renamed it and they're calling it the world's first, but it's literally like vacuum sealed in the exact chunk. Like you can see the...
It's not even shaped into like a bear or anything like that?
No, yeah, no animation. Where's the bear? Like at least then there's like some plausible deniability, right? But it's the exact same thing that you can get from an Asian grocery store. You can get a pack of 4 for...
So then what's the difference between like this hot pot bomb and like what's the marketing difference? Or like how is it being marketed that's different than just soup base?
Because I don't think their audience is aware that soup bases exist.
But they are aware that hot pot exists.
Maybe.
But they must, because if they're selling hot pot bombs, like I think buying it to make hot pot.
But right? I don't know if their audience is making hot pot at home.
Why are you buying hot pot bombs if you're not going to make
No,
it
exactly.
at home?
I think they are trying to introduce the idea of making hot pot at home by introducing this hot pot bomb to their audience and making it seem like it's the first thing that's ever invented. But it's been, again, a part of Chinese culture for probably hundreds of years.
Okay. I don't think I have that much issue with it. Because I feel like it's just... I mean, yeah, you can call it a hot pot bomb, but... Like, is that reinventing what soup base is? No. Like, yeah, they're selling it for more expensive, but like if you buy it, like, okay, you just buy something that's more expensive.
But like you're okay with the idea that they're saying that they created it?
I think I'm okay with it because they're saying it as, oh, I created the hot pot bomb.
But even though it's the exact same thing as soup base.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that.
Interesting. I feel
like it's... I don't know how to describe it, but I don't feel upset about it.
I feel like I, once again, feel like white people are taking credit for...
Because you can't say, like, oh, white people can't sell Chinese things.
Yeah, I am not saying that. I think you can say, like, we did this twist on this soup base because we...
To me, I feel like they're just renaming soup base.
Yeah.
To, like, hot pot bomb.
Yeah. Like, changing nothing about it. At least
they're still keeping hot pot.
Yeah,
it's like basically the same as if you reshaped the hot pot soup base like into a bear and they renamed it hot pot bear.
But like no one is claiming, like I don't think Chinese people are claiming that they invented the first ever hot pot soup base.
Oh, so they're claiming that they invented like the soup base?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but to me, I think it's just like the marketing. Like, oh, we invented the first hot pot bomb. Like, it's in the shape of a ball or something like that.
But it's not.
Okay, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
but like, there's nothing different about it.
I think to me, I don't think that they're like when I see that. Oh, this is the first hot pot bomb. I don't think like my mind doesn't go to thinking like, oh, they think that they're saying that they invented this whole like item. To me, I think of it more as just like a marketing thing. Where like, oh, this is a hot pot bomb, TM. You know?
Yeah, I think that's fair, but like, I worry that people are, again, going to, similar to the cucumber salad thing, they're going to attribute the idea of hot pot base to a white person that just borrowed the idea from countless of Chinese products. I don't know.
I love Heidi Lau. That's what I was thinking this whole time.
Yeah, I want to hot pot
too. I don't think it's at risk of that just because of how big hot pot is. And like, I think to me, it would be different if they, instead of calling it hot pot bomb, they called it like the word hot pot wasn't even in it. Like they called it like casserole soup bomb. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if they completely like erase the whole identity of hot pot, like, okay, then I would have an issue with it. But I think like for me, because the word hot pot is included, and I think to me that's enough to call back to what the actual product is, or like what the actual food item is. This is another thing I wanted to bring up, is the difference between Chinese people who were born and raised in China versus the Chinese diaspora who were born and raised outside of China. I think there's definitely a really big difference of viewing different things and interacting with the world about like Chinese topics.
Yeah,
that's really different.
I wonder if it's because like two Chinese people that were born and raised in China, like the Western world is still something to aspire for.
I think it's because people born and raised in China haven't encountered racism the same way that the Chinese diaspora has outside of China. I think that's the biggest reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
like,
too.
I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no racism in China. Obviously there is, but like you're not racist, like, you know, towards who you are.
Yeah,
as a
because the majority,
because everyone is Chinese.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing. And I've also heard this issue when it comes to cultural appropriation and what counts as cultural appropriation versus what is considered appreciation. I remember this was like years ago, like more than 10 years ago, when I was in high school. There was a white girl who wore a qipao dress to prom or something.
In your school?
No, like in the US.
Like
somewhere in the US. I don't know where, I don't remember. This was so long ago. And people in the US were really upset about that because they thought like, okay, she can't wear a cultural outfit or an outfit that's so clearly from this culture to prom because she's not Chinese. Whereas people in China would react like, oh my gosh, like they're like, I'm so happy that they're willing to like wear our cultural clothes and like go to prom. It's like a really big event. So I think there was like two really drastically different reactions. And I think it boils down to how people were treated growing up, right? Because obviously Chinese people don't experience the same kind of racism that like Chinese-born Americans or Chinese-born Canadians receive.
Yeah. Did you ever encounter anything in your years in
China or
in
here?
Canada?
Oh, I think so, but I don't remember much of it. My mom told me that, like the classic story, when I went to school, I would ask her to pack me Lunchables because people said that my food smelled. All I remember is that I really like Lunchables. I love playing with my food. I was like stacking your... Yeah, I loved doing that. So I knew I loved Lunchables, but I don't remember being bullied or being like called out for that. I just don't remember it. But also, I will say I grew up in a very diverse school, like from grade 1 until grade 7. Like, I think white people were the minority.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was, when I think back, there were definitely a lot of non-white folks at my school and in my communities. Yeah.
I feel like for me, I went to a really Chinese school when I first came to Canada.
Okay.
And then I immediately went to a really white dominant school. And honestly, like, I don't remember anyone being rude to me or my food, or even when I was giving that presentation about how much I wanted to be.
You K-pop?
Yeah, like, I don't think people, or maybe I like didn't read the social cues, but I don't feel like people were rude about that. But like, I remember feeling self-conscious about it anyway. And like, so in China they give you food, right, in the cafeteria in elementary school. Okay, when I went to school, like in grade 2, I remember not having to bring food. Like, that was a weird concept. So like, my parents didn't know what to do, like how to pack my lunches, so they would put like noodles in a thermos and then I would eat it. But I honestly really hated like soggy food. You know, I would steam up and then it would like condensate, right? I hated that. So I also like was like, oh, I don't really want to eat this. So for all of grade, I don't know if it's grade 2 or grade 3, my parents were like, I don't know what to pack you. So I ate Castella cakes for an entire year for school lunch. It's like a sponge cake.
You ate cake for lunch?
I ate cake for an entire, and now I cannot eat Castella cake. Like looking at it.
Your parents let you do that?
They don't know what to pack for me.
Because you're so picky.
Yeah, and then sometime in high school, like they were like, we still don't know what to pack for you, so I got just like some raw vegetables.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, like I think for me, like I don't remember people being rude. Maybe like there's a couple of remarks that like, oh, your noodles look like worms. the type of guys that would like just say a bunch of dumb comments. Like no one really paid attention to them.
You know what would be interesting?
Mm.
We should get our parents on this podcast and ask them how it felt for them when their kid like rejected Chinese things.
Yeah, like
but not my parents, because my parents aren't that deep.
Okay.
I don't think they even thought about it.
My parents don't speak English.
Okay, well, mine don't either. So
Yeah.
there goes.
Do you remember though actively rejecting my Chinese identity? One, because out of the 3 East Asian countries, like China was the least cool at the time, and
Mhm.
like I really wanted to be Korean because I was a big Korea boo, and I'm not afraid
To say it?
to say it.
Clearly.
Yeah, I've grown past that.
Okay.
I remember just like denouncing my Chinese identity and just like feeling like it was so like I don't know. I remember having crazy thoughts like, oh, like what if like I do a DNA test and I'm actually like half Korean? Like I would have thoughts like
what
that.
happened to you?
I don't know. Now I love China, being Chinese.
I feel like I never had those thoughts, or if I did, I don't remember them.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think it was because like I didn't have that many Chinese friends around me, and so my social
Okay.
circle was kind of racist towards Chinese people too. Being around a lot of people and like China being the enemy of the West, I think people just like
Yeah, I get it. Like there's like a general aura of like dislike towards China, and like you probably picked up on it.
yeah. And then so I remember like choosing not to speak Chinese at home.
Oh, really? You just said your parents don't speak English, so how
Yeah.
did this happen?
Yeah, so like I don't know. I just remember like I felt like so embarrassed speaking Chinese. I was
Oh my
fluent
gosh.
in Chinese, obviously, because I came from China.
Okay, yeah.
I could read, I could write. Like I remember all the poetry. And I was really good at math.
Okay.
But like I remember my mom telling me one day that, oh, like one day you just came home and you didn't want to speak Chinese anymore. Like you didn't want to eat any Chinese food. Like you
I
want
should ask my mom if I ever said that.
And now my Chinese is shit. So
Okay, it's not that bad.
like, it's definitely
not
not
bad.
fluent, and I really regret not speaking Chinese and like trying to fit in. But like you can't really ever fit in because
But I
you
think
look
like
the way
yeah,
you
I was
do.
just gonna say like you were probably assimilating more because of what you just described. Right?
Yeah, like I think like throughout various periods of my life, I like bounced around like being proud of being Asian and really being not proud of being Asian,
Mm.
because like I also remember towards the tail end of high school. So I was like still kind of into K-pop in grade 9 and 10, but in grade 11 and 12, I became like really whitewashed
Okay.
into the first 2 years of university, and then I switched back to being Asian again.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just feel like I have a really difficult sense of identity
Mhm.
because like I definitely was not actively trying to fit in, but maybe subconsciously.
Yeah, I think subconsciously for sure, especially when you were younger, because I think identity is so much more like important and also so much bigger of a question mark for when you're growing up,
Yeah.
right? In those formative years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like renounced being Chinese, not like I could do
No
anything.
longer
about it.
Chinese.
Yeah. I was in a very
Korean now.
I was in a very not Chinese time of my life.
Like, do you ever feel that you're too Chinese for white people, but then like too white for Chinese people? Think you're Chinese, or do you think you're Canadian?
I think I'm Chinese. I definitely thought that I didn't want to be Chinese anymore.
Okay, because I think of myself more as Canadian now.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I feel like you're the most Chinese person I know.
I think it's because I know more about China that I'm now with the feeling that okay, I don't think I can fit in there.
Oh, like if you were to move back home.
Yeah,
Why is that?
I just think everything, like in terms of like society, work, like just like life in general. Like I don't think I can adjust to the work culture. I don't think that anybody would even hire me because I'm not Chinese enough, because I don't know the Chinese market and I don't know the
Mm.
Chinese demographic, and I haven't grown up there and didn't receive schooling there, and therefore don't have the same thought processes as the Chinese people there. So therefore I'm not Chinese.
Mm.
And not to say that, like, obviously I think if I move back to Shanghai, like, I think that I would be able to have a good life there, but I don't think it would be a very Chinese life.
Like it would be in the expat
Yeah,
or
for
immigrant.
sure. Yeah, expat, 100%. I don't think that, but I think that when I was younger, and this is maybe like 5-6 years ago, I had more of a identity crisis around that. I really felt like, okay, I didn't if I go back to China, I wouldn't be accepted because I'm too much of a banana. And then here, I feel like, not that I'm not accepted, but I also feel like there are some differences as well because I feel like I'm too Chinese.
Yeah, the immigrant mindset too is like impacts everything that you do.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Especially for work, I think. That's the biggest one ever since we graduated school. I definitely don't think that I would be able to fit in China. There's also just so many like cultural things that I'm not used to anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody there is used to it, and that's like the norm for them. So I think in terms of like society, I don't think I really fit in to the Chinese society.
Yeah, and Chinese people can tell.
But I fit in more here.
Maybe
because it's so much more diverse here.
Yeah, and like I guess you're friends with a lot of like also immigrants from various different countries.
Yeah,
like that kind of upbringing is like you're not Canadian because you're not.
But I think that is like Canadian, right?
Yeah, I mean like you're not like Canadian. Like you weren't like born here. Your parents weren't born here.
Right.
You're not Chinese because we weren't
raised there.
Yeah, we didn't grow up there. And so like our niche and our community is like people that left their home countries at a young age or were born here but were raised by immigrants. Parents.
Yeah.
And like that's the Venn diagram of like where our belonging
isn't that what like a third culture kid is?
Like I feel like Chinese people can tell that you're not Chinese either
100%.
when you go back to China.
Just based on how you walk and how you dress.
Yeah, the way that you look.
There was this thing, like a study, I think, but I forgot who conducted the study, saying that ABCs, so American born Chinese, I guess like Western people who grew up here in the West, have different face shapes because of the language that you speak.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, about how if you're an English speaker, I'm just making this up, like you use your jaw more, or like you use different parts of your face more, and then over time that changes your facial features compared to people who like never left your country of origin.
Yeah, that I think I heard that too.
I don't think I could tell just from someone's face, but I think definitely by like the look of someone you can tell.
Yeah,
and it's very obvious.
Yeah, for sure. And like my family, every time I go back, I think they mean it as a compliment, but they're always like, "Oh, you have so much like young tea," mean like Western flavor. And I think it's used as a compliment, but it's also like a strong indicator
that you're different.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So with my current partner, before I met him, he thought Chinese food was like Mandarin buffet.
I don't think people outside of Toronto are gonna know what that is.
Like Chinese buffet food, like deep fried egg rolls. What else is there?
Fried rice.
Yeah, crab rangoon.
Like badly made sushi. No, but I remember Mandarin being like peak dining when I was in elementary school, and all like the hot people from high school like worked there. I think that was the thing.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I thought all the hot people from high school worked at Starbucks.
I think that this was before like Starbucks even entered my like awareness.
Oh.
Mandarin was peak dining because
Really?
it's $20 per person. That was expensive.
True.
Back then.
Yeah, it was really expensive back then. But like he thought like, oh, I don't like Chinese food because it's so deep fried. Like everything is so oily.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, but I think after we've been together for a while, like, and I introduced him to Northern Chinese food, he like loves eating Northern Chinese food. Like he loves eating baos. He loves eating 铁锅炖, Chinese barbecue, and like these foods he's like never seen or heard of before, but he thought it was not Chinese food. Like his only perception of Chinese food was like beef broccoli
and like wonton, fried wonton. Or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like American Chinese food.
Yeah, filled with mayonnaise for some reason.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just like the cream cheese sushi rolls, like equally illegal.
Yeah, with like mango and lettuce.
Criminal. I feel like there has been a revolution in Chinese food in the mainstream.
Yeah, and I think Chinese fine dining exists now, which I think 20 years ago I would never have imagined.
Yeah.
And people, I think 20 years ago, everyone thought Chinese food was like cheap takeout. Like a lot of my white friends would get Chinese takeout, like traditional Chinese takeout, like Mandarin style, Western Chinese food. And they're like, oh, like I love Chinese food. And they would talk about how much
General Chow's chicken.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do love it. It's so good.
Yeah, or like orange chicken, walnut shrimp.
Oh
like,
my god. Wait, those are, yeah.
They hit at
specific moments.
Yeah, exactly. Like cheap Chinese food, and now there's like fine dining Chinese food.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the spread of Chinese culture.
Yeah.
and like doing like French fusion with
Yeah.
like French cooking Chinese food with French. Like I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think
feel
it's interesting.
It's interesting. and
Innovation.
Exactly, innovation. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. Overall, I feel happy that China is getting like recognition and I guess the attention it deserves in a way.
Sure.
And that the soft power of China is increasing or at least
Mhm.
getting to on par. I don't appreciate culture appropriation and monetizing off of a culture that you know nearly nothing about.
And I think like for me, it's like that as well, but also like as long as people are aware like where things come from, like I'm kind of fine with it.
Yeah. I think it's just like
Because I think eventually it'll become more. I mean, I guess like Chinese food is already ingrained in the Western like culinary world, but it's kind of like sushi, right? Like sometimes I don't think of sushi as like I'm getting Japanese food. Like I'm just getting sushi. You know? I think it's getting towards like that kind of
like Western
attitude.
sushi, like California's roll is invented in Vancouver, BC.
Oh really? Not
Yeah.
California.
No, and so like I think
Why
that's like
do Canadians invent so many things? Like Hawaiian pizza is invented by Canadians.
yeah,
right?
like why do we never take credit for
like
anything
we
we
call it
invent?
Canadian pizza.
Yeah, what
But
the hell?
I don't want to claim that though.
Yeah,
I hate
true.
Hawaiian pizza.
I do like a California roll though.
Really? Okay, that's the. I think that's the, like the most rip off roll because that's the only roll with no fish.
It has crab.
It's fake.
No, but sometimes they use. Real
I've never
crab.
seen a California roll real.
Oh,
crab.
have a California roll in BC. I think they use like.
I
real
never
crab.
go to BC.
Yeah,
They're ones.
yeah. I like the ones that's not like
Okay,
fake
fair,
crab,
fair. Yeah.
like crab stick. The one that's like minced
Yeah,
crab.
yeah.
But that's too much mayonnaise. Again, like it's just.
It has, I didn't know that California roll had mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's in the shrimp mix. I mean, sorry, it's in the crab
Oh, okay.
mix. Enough with the mayonnaise.
Okay. Anyway, moving on from mayonnaise.
Yeah. Anyways, enjoying the soft power, and I'm glad that people are partaking in Chinese culture overall.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think China has a lot to offer. I'm glad that more people are open to visiting China. And
Although I will say that
don't visit too much because it'll make shit expensive for us.
No, but I think actually China is not very friendly to foreign tourists.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate truth because there's so much that you have to like prepare and do when you get there, and things are so different as well.
And everything's done on WeChat.
Yeah, like you have to have like these 3 apps that everybody uses, and there's like no option to not use it. Like you have to use it. And then it's not really like Japan or Korea where the tourism is already like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
In China, it's very much still in the beginning stages of foreign tourists coming. Yeah, if you do go to China, do your research because you will need it.
Yeah.
And get a VPN.
Yeah, but once you're done all that, everything is so convenient.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyways, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Year of the Fire Horse.
Yeah, let's get it.
Lots of energy.
Yes.
Lots of ambition as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
All right, so our question for you is, what is your favorite new fact that you've learned about China?
And let us know if you are in a very Chinese time of your life or how you feel about that whole movement/trend. Stay tuned for our next episode.
Yay!
Thank you for listening. Bye.